Hi, welcome to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends, and I'm Dee, and I'm here with one friend so far, and we'll see what comes up in the future. But right now, we're going to talk about passion. My passion is all about sharing and the knowledge and making people better, feeling better with, well, the way to live more naturally without the drugs and without all the drama. And I know that power is knowledge. So I'm always trying to share my knowledge and giving people power so that they can take their lives under control and live the best quality of life. Because it's hard out there, you know? It's like, oh my gosh, so many diseases and crazy stuff and what have you. And we just want to live good. So I have one of my, I have to say road dogs. I haven't used that term in a while, but she's a road dog. She's here and I'm loving her. And that's my girl, Diane. And I'm going, hey, Diane, how you doing?
Hi, Dee. So glad to be back.
Oh, I'm so happy. It's like, yay. I
I'm
don't have to
becoming
worry.
a regular on the
Yes,
show.
you are a regular. Yes, you're one of my regulars today. Yeah, I was like, I got a couple now, and it's nice, you know, because before I was like begging people, oh, can you be? Initially, it was like everybody was here. Then just had a few, and now it's starting up again. And we have some phenomenal people with some phenomenal passions, and it's real cool, real cool. So, Diane, I'm going to ask you, what's your passion for life?
Well, my passion, since we talked about different things, my passion is photography. I love animals. I love people. I love acting.
Okay.
And today, since we're talking about health, my passion is definitely love.
Okay.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the heart, and we're going
Yes.
to talk about fitness. I've
Right.
also been a fitness trainer for 30 years.
Excellent.
So
excellent.
we'll talk a little bit about that when we get into the health.
Yes.
And there's a lot to talk about.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing my red dress. You know, I forgot all about that. We're going to be talking about heart disease and why heart disease is happening and some of the things that we can do naturally
To prevent.
to prevent it. And so right now, because you are an expert, you know, in fitness and the heart, and I'm getting there and learning, and I have that passion of helping people just live that healthier heart life. That's why I decided we needed to just share it and bring it to light
Right.
and help people understand why heart disease is
Well,
happening.
heart disease is the #1 killer.
Right, right. And the thing is, it's out there for, you know, like younger people. It used to be older folks, you know, let's say after 60s, 70s, 80s. Now, you have children, 18, 17, having heart attacks. So now, what's going on?
Well, in the field that I've been in, fitness field for many years, I find a lot of the children are obese. You know, and you don't see it everywhere. You see it in certain places, and I think at an early age you have to start eating right, exercising, and taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I know that fat cells actually grow. They're there. You know, when you are born, certain cells are there. And if you actually end up eating poorly when you're a baby, those fat cells develop and they turn into very, very obese and having challenges with the diabetes and well, circulation and all that. Because what basically heart disease is it's a blocking of your
Of the arteries, of the walls of the arteries.
and the heart actually starts
And-
doing kind of crazy things.
And then it builds up plaque,
Mhm.
and there's no blood flow
Right,
to
the
the
blood
heart.
flow, and it causes like blockages, and it causes your heart starts to die. You know, because of the blood flow is not getting there. You can have carotid artery
And
disease.
you could have strokes.
and
High blood pressure is a cause of that also.
arrhythmias,
Right.
and diabetes is also part of it. And they talk cholesterol actually,
Having very high cholesterol.
that's what they
is
say.
a
They put you on these statin drugs. I find that the drugs that they're putting on you all on is causing a lot of challenges too, you know, because
adverse reactions.
yeah, exactly. And they're actually having controversies with the fact that cholesterol is not necessarily really a major cause of heart disease, because they're saying that at this point, what is high cholesterol, you know, is not really defined well. So therefore, putting them on the statin drugs, is that really going to help? Because you do need a certain amount of fat in your diet.
You definitely need fat in
you
your
know,
diet.
to
Everything in moderation.
Right. Well, you know, I get a little concerned about the moderation thing, because I feel like, and I've said this before, if you have a little poison in moderation, it's still not good for you.
It's still not good for you.
You know?
But, you know what? There's vegetarians that eat very healthy, and that does lower your cholesterol, and it does make you healthier.
Right.
But there's also vegetarians that I know who have had heart disease, and it's hereditary.
Well, yeah,
So-
and that's
Right.
part of the whole journey too, because a lot of times heart disease is caused by genetics and actually diseases in general. You know, it's like a lot of diseases right now are because of, well, different things. You have stress, you have well, toxins, chemicals, GMOs, all these different chemicals, and what you'll have a lot. Well, your relationships, and there's so many things that causes disease, you know. And you have the autoimmune diseases and inflammation. That's the biggest.
That's
thing,
the biggest
you know?
thing for disease
and,
is inflammation.
And that causes your heart challenges and the diabetes, and but things that lead to heart disease, you know, so like kidney disease leads to heart disease. Or you start with certain chemicals or prescriptive drugs or what that will cause other side effects.
Exactly.
It's so, and it does start, like you were saying, when you're a child.
At a young age.
You know, because I know myself, I was obese as a child. Well, I was born like 9 pounds, something like that. I was a big baby. So big babies, they're okay as long as you don't continue to get bigger. But apparently at 2 years old, my parents I was on that road of being bigger. And the doctor actually told my parents that I would be, 200 pounds by the age of 12. And
Wow.
because the fat cells were being predetermined, and they were there.
So that was hereditary.
Yeah.
Or how were you
I guess
eating?
the fat cells,
How were you eating as a child?
processed foods. I was a 50s baby.
Right.
So, you know, processed foods it's very, very bad for
Right.
everybody. And if you start with the processed foods, your body starts to just add, I guess, the bad things.
See, growing up as a child, my mom never gave us sugars. We never had sweets. If we had anything, we had rice pudding was our sweets. No sodas in the house. She used to give us castor oil.
Really?
You know, a spoon
She
of
was
castor
old
oil.
school,
Yeah, the old
yeah,
school as
yeah.
a little girl. And
Was she from down south or something?
Yeah, no, she was down here, but she really fed us very healthy, and I grew up in that healthy atmosphere. So, at a young age, at 19, I started the fitness field, and I just changed my life, and I wanted to get out there and change other people's lives.
Right.
And I think it's very important that people get into a program. I was down in Florida years ago, and I went down to Orlando, and I was sitting by the pool, and there were so many overweight children. And I wanted to go over to the parents, and I wanted to talk to them about fitness. And I said, you know, does your children, you know, do they work out? Do they have any activities? And they're going, oh, no, they sit on the couch, they watch TV, I'll let them eat whatever they want to eat. And it's so sad that what goes on with the, you know, sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, the kids are not active, and that's where it starts. It starts as a young child.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And we were 50s babies with the TVs,
50s.
you know, so the TV
Right.
was new. And
But you had that way, and I had the other way, where I was into the fitness part.
My parents You know,
While
they let us watch
my friends
TV.
were out at nightclubs, I was making bran muffins for the next day for the
Really?
gym. I was a big fitness buff.
No, we didn't know anything about fitness. I didn't even know what a fruit was. My mom never really, unless it was apple pie or something on that order. So
Well, now it's not. It's never too late to change.
No, I have changed.
And you have
I
changed, which you're going to
changed.
talk
I
about.
have definitely changed. But I know that I suffered from gastritis when I was a child. I had heartburn. I was on Tagamet at like 14, 15 years old because I had to go to the doctors in the hospital because I was like, what's going on? So, you know, these children are actually, and I was 200 pounds at the age of 12. So what do you do? So my mom put me on a diet, and she gave me diet pills, and she gave me,
See, and that's
you know,
not good either.
it's like, no, it's not. And I actually did well with it initially, but when I tried to do it again, I felt like my heart was racing, and I thought maybe I would actually die from a heart
So how
attack.
much did you lose weight on the diet pills?
I did initially, yeah.
And
I
then-
lost probably about 50 pounds.
And then
60
what did you
pounds.
do? Did you go on a, I don't even like to use the word diet because when you use the word diet, people say, oh my gosh, I'm going to diet today. It's the way of eating, it's the way of life.
Exactly.
So you have to get the word diet out of your
Yeah,
vocabulary.
yeah.
But did you change the way you ate? or-
No, of course not. And I was still eating the same crap. But at that point, I incorporated a lot of fitness, and I was doing the dancing. So I would go out to the clubs back then.
Back then.
Yeah. So 3 times a week, 4 times a week. So I was able to keep my weight down until I was and during that time I was in college. So while I was in college, I almost didn't graduate. So I had to kind of like, okay, can't be partying 3, 4 times a week. I had to bring it down. So at that point, I started gaining a little bit of weight. And because you're studying and you're munching and you're doing and what have you, so you're not as active. And I did gain a little bit. I didn't gain a lot, but I gained a little. But I noticed it started gaining a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And, oh gosh, I probably didn't gain until I gained more. I was probably over 200 at that point, but I maintained. And I was always one of these people that didn't look horrible at about, 180, 200, because I can't really afford to be too thin because my body just didn't support it. I just didn't look good. So, 180, 190, 200. But then when I went up to 300, you kind of say, wait a minute. And that was, about 40. I had stopped smoking by that time. Another heart issue because, all those things. I was doing very bad things to my body. I was eating poorly. I was smoking cigarettes since I was 12. I did a lot of bad things.
And how were you feeling at that point? Were you feeling
I was
sluggish?
miserable.
Were you feeling?
Yeah, I was tired all the time. I had gastro issues with my stomach and heartburn. I was on gastritis pills and there's a Tagamet and
So
all
you
kinds.
could do. I'm against pills. I'm all into natural.
But I didn't know.
And I know you didn't know, but
I
now
didn't
you're
know.
learning because I
Now,
met you
yeah.
through the health,
Yes,
meeting you
yes,
through a
yes,
health fair,
yes,
and
yes.
you have changed your life in a
Oh,
great
yeah,
way.
without a doubt. Yeah,
And
I have
you
changed.
look beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, well, both of us, But the thing is, back then, I was toxic. I had the dark circles and lines, and I looked so much older than I am now. Back then, like 20 years ago, I smoked the cigarettes, and I was very, very unhealthy. I was tired all the time. I anemic, and my body. I was waiting for a heart attack. I was like 2 minutes away from a heart attack. Truly, I know that for sure. But and I had to go on blood pressure medicines ultimately because I ended up gaining the weight
And having
hypertension.
high blood pressure,
My blood
having
pressure
pressures
went up.
high.
Everything was. I was on Nexium. I was on blood pressure medicine. They wanted to put me on cholesterol medicine. I refused to do that, and I'm so glad because they found now that, because all these people are on cholesterol medicine.
It's causing other problems.
It's causing other issues, with their memory, glaucoma, you name it. And, it's
Now,
not really
how's your
preventing.
cholesterol now? Is it down? Or-
Yeah. After I started using, certain natural supplements and stuff like that, I didn't have to deal with it at all.
And you have your yearly, very important is everybody should have a yearly checkup with your doctor.
Yeah. That's
And
extremely important.
Very important.
Yeah. But then you also have to put yourself in check.
Right.
So, and the processed foods, I found that was major. That was major when I stopped eating the processed foods and started looking at what processed foods were, because a lot of people don't even know what processed foods are, And I think I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back, okay? So, hey guys, we'll be right back.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, GMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhousetv.
You are the man.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends. And I got a new friend on the couch. She's a little tardy, but she's good. Hey, how you doing,
Dee?
Kim?
I am blessed, sweetheart. I am so blessed and
I'm
so
glad
happy
you
to be
made
here. I'm
it.
glad I was
Yeah.
able to make it.
Well, we're talking about passions, and we're talking about heart disease. And,
Yeah.
well, we're going to share your passion first.
Yes,
Just even
yes.
though you're a little tardy, we're going to just bring you in.
Well, my passion is really people, and I'm so glad that you're talking about heart disease, or as it relates to women on this evening. And one of the things that I thought about shortly after our conversation is that a lot of things happen in our bodies as a direct result of what we think about ourselves, and a lot of heartache. People literally die from broken hearts.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Because they get so consumed and they're caught up in bondage, and they can't seem to find their way out of the dark place.
Yeah.
So not only is it heart disease for women and for men, but in addition to that, it's also other diseases, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
don't take good care of ourselves.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, and
Yes.
that's what we
What
were
you're talking
saying.
about.
Because I know that my grandfather, who was married to my grandma for I don't know, oh gosh, almost 50 years or maybe longer. Who knows? I don't know. I stopped counting. But my grandmother had passed away, and she had been sick for many, many years. So he was there for her for all those years, and then everybody passed away in that household. It was my grandmother, her mother, the cat, and him.
Wow.
And he ended up on Christmas night, after Christmas Day, going home, first Christmas without his wife of 50 plus years,
Right.
walking home, and didn't make it.
Wow.
And he had gone to the doctor the week before,
Uh-huh.
had a full checkout, no problems whatsoever. He passed out from a heart attack.
Wow.
And I know
Wow.
it was a broken heart.
Wow. That's
know,
what happens.
that was a
That's
broken heart.
exactly what happens.
And it was
Yeah.
like, wow, okay, he was not with his wife on Christmas.
Yes.
That was his first Christmas without
Yes.
her.
Yes.
And it was sad because it was only me, my sister, my aunt, and her boyfriend, and my grandfather.
Wow.
And usually it was always the family.
Yes.
You know, all of us were there.
Yes.
And the family wasn't there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mother wasn't there. My aunt wasn't there. All my cousins weren't there.
Right.
And he missed
Yes.
everybody.
Yes. Yes. I can see how that is definitely could potentially be a huge problem for people. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. January, you know, being one of the coldest and darkest months. Right after the holidays, a lot of people go into a state of depression.
Right.
And they go into the state of depression, they're kind of hurting, they're going through because the holidays have passed, they have been kind of uneventful, and mentally and emotionally they start to go through
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
either they don't have their family with them, and or some loved ones have passed away and they're reminiscing, and they kind of find themselves just going down a dark hole in the winter months.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that the other day, just happened to be thinking about it, because I know that for most of us, it's a little non-productive. It's those non-productive months, because it's dark.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
see,
Dark.
sun
Yes.
also
Sun makes
will
you-
lead
Yes.
to the fact that
Yes.
because you have deficiencies.
Yes.
And those
Right.
deficiencies help with the non-production of your blood flow.
Yes.
And your heart doesn't get what it needs.
Yes.
The
You know?
vitamin D.
Yes, right.
Yes.
The vitamin D is very essential for your body to be in balance.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
because when you don't have that balance, then you have heart disease. You have the inflammation, and you
Yes.
cause all these challenges and what have you.
Yes.
And you know, you have to have that balance with the mind and the body.
Yes.
And you know, activity.
Activity,
and-
yeah,
Yeah, because I was saying as a youngster, oh my, I had such challenges because first of all, the foods were so bad. My mom was into all processed foods.
Right,
You know,
right.
this is what we grew up on in the 50s, 60s, 70s. First of all, TV dinners were the first thing because TVs were brand new.
And so what you did was you
Let's
sat
have
in front of the TV,
and
you
you
ate,
watched
right,
and,
right.
and you ate this fast food,
Yes.
you know, that came out and it was quick and easy.
Yes.
And then they had these
And they
restaurants
had the ice
now.
cream truck come
Yeah.
around.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness, things
yes.
that, you know, were all so bad for
Yes.
us. And we didn't know. We just ate it and enjoyed it. And it was like, what's fruits? We just ate real-
Whatever.
You know,
Right.
this is the food.
Right.
It was in the can.
Right.
It was good for you, you know.
You know, I
Yeah, I
think
grew up different, which I told
sometime-
her.
I heard.
yeah.
I think sometimes that it's a little more than that, because I think when you know better, you kind of do better. So as you grow up, but I think a lot of the reasons why, because I'm kind of into health and wellness myself. I'm not kind of. I am.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I know that people don't talk about as it pertains to our health and our bodies is the fact that you kind of eat yourself into that state of being. The more you eat, the more sluggish you feel, the worse you feel about yourself. And because you really want, I believe that sometimes it's a cover-up for something else. And so even not taking care of ourselves is saying, I really don't want this. I really, because if you really want to change your life,
You will.
then you will.
Well,
You know what I mean?
when you get older, you
Yes.
do know better.
Right.
Okay,
Well,
and I
sometimes.
agree with that.
Sometimes,
But when I
yeah.
was young,
You didn't
really
have
I
any-
didn't have
yeah.
that choice.
Right.
I didn't know better.
Right.
Okay, so therefore I was just stuck.
Well, sometimes you even know better, and you kind of know, like, you shouldn't have the hamburger,
Well,
and you want the hamburger
Not really,
anyway.
because okay, no, I knew about the Carvel, because I was big into going over to the chocolate thick shake float. Yeah, I was just, oh
We
my
all-
gosh,
we all
you know?
like Carvel as children.
I know.
I know.
Tell me
But the
about it.
thing is, I got exposed to, that was what
You
I
were
was
exposed
to.
I
So
actually, can I tell you something? I have a friend, his name is Eric, and I don't know if he's going to be watching, but he has a son named Daniel, and Eric is, was adopted, and he was fostered over here in the States, and I absolutely love and adore him. But his son, Daniel, who is a prodigy, this kid is so brilliant, he actually has never tasted McDonald's. Eric and his wife, Ira, have decided that they will not, and they never gave it to him. Now, he knew about McDonald's. He speaks Russian. You know what I mean? He but here's the thing. He only wanted the toy because he knew that there was a toy there, the drawer, but that's the magic for
Yeah,
the kids.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how they,
yeah,
I
yeah.
want this Happy Meal
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But he's never tasted the food.
Right, and that's the
and
best
it's a
thing.
cultural thing as
Yeah.
well, whereby you're coming home from work, you're rushing in the door, you just want to get the kids fed. Sometimes you don't have time. You get in a little late from work, so you're picking something up on the way, and we have to learn how to not only, make better choices, but cook better things quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And not in the microwave,
Well,
so to speak.
but see
You understand
now,
what I'm saying?
at this point, I don't even have to cook as much because right now I'm eating a lot of salads. I'm doing a
Right.
lot of different things that are
Right.
raw. I'm eating more raw foods
Right.
than cooking. Or
Right.
maybe I will go and get, and I'm taking care of my parents. So these are my grown children at this point.
Right, I understand.
So the thing is, at this point, what I do is, if I can't really cook, I'll go and get a roasted chicken.
Right,
Okay,
right.
but I get the roasted chicken that is hormone free.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes.
without the antibiotics and what have you.
Right.
Because guess what? I don't want them to be exposed to that.
Yes.
And so, hey, I'll make you a little quick chicken salad.
Yes.
And then I put some vegetables in there and
Yes.
and grind it up and there you go. You got a nice little meal.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they've been doing good. You know, I had to say my mom, she had a good day yesterday, and she was like, I feel almost like I used to feel. And she was doing her numbers, because she was into her numbers and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, you're doing your numbers. Okay. And
Yeah.
what's numbers? It's like she has a system. I don't know. She's trying to always win some money, right? But she was doing her numbers and everything. And I was like, wow, Mom.
Good.
She said, my husband. But then I called her today, and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm ordering pizza. I was like, oh, Lord.
Does she do any juicing? Do you do any juicing with the
Well,
blender? 'Cause
I'll
that's-
bring
that's-
juices. I haven't been able to get a juicer
Does she have a
there
blender
yet.
there? Yeah, because that's great
We
to
have a
right.
blender, but I can't find all the parts. So, but
'Cause
we have
juicing
done
is,
it.
is great. I juice every day.
And you know what? Her husband actually is he's into doing all that. And he loves it. And he's like, yes, yes, yes. Anything I bring in, yes, yes, yes. My mom, no, no. But she's starting to drink it and eat it. And like I brought her tea today. And it's a special tea, a special blend. I won't say it just in case she watches, because then she might not want to drink it. But she's been drinking it, and she drinks it. I'm like, yay. It was hard for me to get her to drink it.
I'm sure
but
she feels better.
no, she does.
Yeah, and I think the
she
juicing
looks for me to
does.
bring it to her now, you know? So
I think a lot of problem too is people don't drink enough water,
Oh, yes.
and water is very important.
Yes, yes,
It is
yes,
extremely
yes.
And sometimes when I juice, and sometimes I may lack some water, I'll have some coconut water in there for my electrolytes.
Right, right,
So,
right.
and I do feel great when I juice.
Right.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
you
I'll
do.
have a protein drink. We'll have some almond butter, and that's like a nice meal. I have banana with an almond butter, or else sometimes I'll do the greens, and I'll do a wheatgrass, which wheatgrass is a shot of wheatgrass is very good for you. It brings the oxygen to the blood. It
Right,
has
right.
all the protein, amino acids. And sometimes if you never had it before, you may feel a little nauseous because it's like very powerful putting it into your system. So when your body's very toxic and you put really good stuff right away, you feel it.
Yeah.
You know, you'll
Yeah,
feel
you
it.
do
And
it
then if you
different.
start eating really well and you put some garbage, sometimes don't you ever feel like
You feel
like
sluggish.
poison? You feel
Yes.
poison. You
Yeah,
feel like
you
I got
do.
poisoned. Like
Yeah.
if the kid had McDonald's, he'll probably
Yeah.
get sick. You know, he'll
Yeah.
probably feel
Well, he's never
sick.
had it.
Right, but if he
So,
had something
right,
like that, it
yes.
probably like
Yeah.
like he'll reject it because
Yeah.
sometimes the body rejects things that
Oh, not now.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
will tell you a story, okay? Because I detoxed for 8 months, okay? And so then I introduced food, and I detoxed on real food, okay?
Right.
It wasn't about doing any fad diets or anything like that. I just basically took myself off of those processed foods.
Yes.
And so I ate real foods. And I went for the organics, and if I did cheat, I would go cheat with a real cheat, but not, like I'll get some crackers that had, well, gluten-free because I'm actually allergic or gluten sensitive or whatever. I don't even know what it was, but I
Right.
know I used to have like really bad issues with losing my
Colitis? Did you have colitis?
I didn't have colitis, but because they thought it might
Might
be,
be.
the celiac.
Right, celiac.
But it wasn't celiac. I got tested and what have you, or it was one of those things that you really can't tell. That's another autoimmune disease. I have other autoimmune diseases, but I don't have that one.
Right.
At least they said I don't, but it's hard to determine. But I had a lot of issues with diarrhea and all that kind of stuff, which
Oh,
caused,
that's nice.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing that,
Oh,
Dee.
well, you know what?
Thank you
That's
so
part of
much.
health.
Part of health.
Okay.
We're
You
there.
know,
All right,
it's
Pumpkin.
real deal. You know,
All right,
I'm like
all right.
all about
And
real.
so, how is it that all of this translates into better living, not just for you and I, not just for you, Diane, and myself, but for all of the people that are watching? We're talking about heart disease, and we're talking about how it is affecting us, how it affects our entire families when we don't do right. So
Well-
how, in TV land, how does all of this translate for them?
Well, see, when you're eating poorly, your body starts reacting and it's out of balance.
Right.
So therefore, you get anemic.
Yes.
And you get diabetes. You
Diabetes,
get all
yes.
these diseases.
Yes.
And your body starts reacting to different stimuli
Yes.
adversely. And
Yes.
me being anemic could have caused a heart attack.
Yes.
Because of the fact that I'm not
Yes.
getting the proper blood.
Yes.
So they were very concerned. Why am I so anemic?
Yes.
And it was due because of allergies.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
a sudden, my body was actually reacting to all the foods and
Yes.
the toxins that were
In
in,
the
the
food,
body.
right.
Right.
And this is what's causing my inflammation. This is what's causing
Yes.
issues
Yes.
why my body's not, getting the proper blood flow. And I was having circulation issues. I was
Yes.
having numbness, and what's going on with my body? Why
Yes.
am I, feeling like I might have a heart attack?
Yes.
And then
yes.
you talk about stress, it's like,
Right.
oh gosh,
Right. I don't
and
feel
all
good.
that,
Yes.
all this
Yes.
causes heart.
Yes.
And we, as women, actually don't have the same, symptoms as
As men do.
men.
Yes.
So I had a friend, her mom went into the hospital with a stomach issue
Mm-hmm.
and ended up having a massive heart attack and dying.
Oh, geez.
And the fact that it was a stomach issue, they didn't associate it with the heart,
Right.
but it was actually
Yes.
a precursor to
Yes.
heart disease
Yes. Yes.
and heart
And some of the
attack.
symptoms
Yes.
are also in the jaw, your right arm, coldness in the arms and the legs.
Yes. Yes. I can tell you this, that as you take, if you take the right products. And I mean this to say, the right vitamins, the right supplements for your body, you literally can change your life. I know so many people who have been successful, and even people who are hereditarily diabetics. I forget which one that is exactly. They have literally, just by taking supplements and doing the right things, eating better, have changed everything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Their blood sugar levels are where they should be. Their cholesterol has gone down. You know, just by attempting to start to live right.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I think that it's really like a serious, it's a choice. It's a mind thing. And so that's why I was excited to come on the show tonight after I spoke with you. I said, you know, if we would just wrap our heads around the fact that we are so powerful, we literally can command whatever it is that we want from this life right now, today, right now, in this moment.
Right.
Command what it is that we want to have.
Definitely.
And if you want to have good health, then you have to speak life into your life. But not only through your thoughts, but also through your words and then your deeds.
Yeah.
And when you eat better, when you live healthy, you can have so much better relationships because you're not tired.
Yeah, exactly.
You have energy.
Yeah.
It's like having sex. People say, you know, sex gives you more energy and it makes you feel alive and all that. Listen, that is the truth.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the other part. If you use it for what it is intended for, you can have a whole different type of life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
what I spoke about in the first show, we spoke about spices.
Right.
And spices are like very powerful.
Herbs
And I
as well.
I start my morning, and I'll bring it up on this show again. I start my morning with hot water and some ginger root and some lemon, and I put some cumin and turmeric and some
Yes.
cinnamon
All very
and
good.
cloves.
All very good.
And sometimes I don't put them all in together. I'll separate it throughout the day. But all these herbs have such spices, have such benefits.
Yes.
And if you go on, you know, everybody listening should really study about these different herbs because the
Yes.
turmeric, the cumin, they help inflammation of the body.
Yes.
And like you said, with all the supplements, I do the spices, and I think that they do change your life.
They
And
really
have
do.
They have
my
changed
life.
my
They
life
have
also.
changed my
And
life.
I have
Yes.
actually started with supplements. I've been taking supplements for the last 5-6 years.
Wow.
And my goodness, yes.
What a
See,
change.
Yes.
I don't take supplement. I personally don't
right.
take supplements.
I
I
do-
do my spices.
I do spices
Spices.
also. I'll take cayenne pepper. I do lemon.
Yes.
Cayenne
I
peppers,
do.
yeah, I do the
I
cayenne
do
pepper.
lemon. I do actually
Do
vinegar.
coconut
yes.
vinegar, apple cider
apple
vinegar.
cider vinegar.
Coconut oil is
But I
great.
also do my
Yes.
supplements with like noni. I
No.
do have some.
Right, which is-
you know,
that's
I
a
do-
supplement. That's a great supplement,
I do
yes.
a supplement my noni.
I
I
love
do.
noni.
I do.
I love knowing.
And I used to be on different supplements like that, and it has, years ago, I did have like acid reflux, and I did have other issues, and I started on a supplement, not a pill, but like a juice that you
Yes.
were taking.
Right.
And it was like a baby barley from Japan, and I was taking this juice, and the baby barley, I felt like someone vacuumed my head. I mean, I was focused,
Yes.
I
Oh
felt
my
so
goodness.
clear. And then I was taking a juice that I went to the doctor. He said, you have no bacteria. I wanted to get a heart
Yes.
test for my plaque. He said, you have 0 plaque.
Yes.
They said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm taking these products.
Yes.
But, you know, the products came from Japan a while ago, and there was an earthquake, and then there was the
Yeah,
problem with the
I see.
radiation. And then
So
I
then you
stopped the
stopped.
products for a while,
Right.
but then I supplemented something different with the spices.
Yes, yes.
But
I
I-
think that that's important.
That's
that
very
you,
important that you-
because you know what it is. Even if we ate the absolute right thing all day long, we still do not get all of the nutrients to our food.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good idea to have, you know, the romaine lettuce. It's a good idea to eat stuff that's high in, you know, value. you
Because
know.
we need the magnesium.
We need, but we
you're
need,
right. Well,
we do need, I mean, the body is a well-oiled machine, and the food that's on the earth should be enough. But because
But it's
food,
not.
right, but because food is
Yeah.
done the way that it's done
Yeah.
these days, especially.
the soil is so
Yes.
poor.
Poison.
Yes,
It's poison.
yes.
A lot of
yes.
it is so poisoned at this
Yes.
point.
So you
And
have to
you
kind
don't
of do
ha-
something.
Yeah, you have to.
Unless you're going to literally eat all day long to
Right.
give your body whatever it is that it needs. Supplements are probably like one of the best things that you can ever do. I will tell you this. I started taking supplements a couple of years ago, and my mind
It's
started
amazing.
to, I mean, the focus. of-
Okay.
Focus.
The focus.
And you know what? Express that in 1 minute because we're going to
Okay.
take a break.
Okay, baby.
And when we come back,
Okay.
we're going to talk about focus.
Okay, great.
Ken's focus. Okay.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhousetv, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhousetv. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Galaxy Luxury Coach is a full-service limousine and party bus company. Family-owned and operated, we are an industry leader with over 25 years of experience in providing best-in-class luxury transportation for your special event. Whether it's your precious wedding day, an all-day wine tour out east, your high school prom, that special birthday, or just an amazing night on the town, our professional chauffeurs stand ready to ensure your special event is truly special. Galaxy Luxury Coach has one of the largest and modern party bus fleets in the New York area. Our party buses are simply nightclubs on wheels. Concert sound systems, light shows, lasers and strobes, multicolor LED lighting brilliantly lights your party bus inside and out. For corporate and more laid-back events, we will cater to your specific needs and requests. What sets Galaxy aside from all others in the luxury transportation industry is our attention to detail in customizing our services to your special event. At Galaxy, it's all about you and your guests. Galaxy customers return time and time again because they know they can trust Galaxy to help deliver those lifetime memorable moments. Step aboard and let your Galaxy experience begin.
What are you looking for? You don't even know that. Are you on the ball list? So you can't even answer. I'm asking you about it. You gotta be highly skilled. You gotta be highly skilled. You understand that?
Are you sick?
Are you well versed there? Are you a very smart man? Hit me with some funny shit.
My shit's twisted.
Tell me something. Tell me
What do
something.
you have right there?
That's awesome.
Well-
That's a big.
That's
nice.
You know damn well. You know damn well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's
Sir, are you interested in or not?
Yes, I am. Sure. See, you got twisted.
You see what I'm saying? You understand me? And if you can't whip out answers like that, that man is liable to go to commercial break, punch your fucking mouth loose. You understand me? Time is up, sir. You understand me? You're on. You're the man. All right, give me your name now. I'm sorry.
My name is Willie.
Willie, where you working at?
We are twisted. We are awesome. Love it.
Can you repeat that question again?
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhousetv.
You are the man.
Hi, welcome back to Passion for Life with Dee and Friends. And I have my friends, and we're having a good conversation. Focus. Tell us about your focus.
I think I forgot my thought during the commercial break. That is really not good. What I wanted, I think what I was thinking about though, is that if we focus on being healthy, being where we're supposed to be, if we make, our minds, it's so very important to understand how our thoughts play into our weight loss, into our health, into our relationships,
heart health,
and into into every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
I was saying before how powerful we are in our thinking, and our thinking could lead us down whichever road we choose. I think a lot of times, sometimes weight is hereditary. It runs in your family. It causes poor eating habits, causes all kinds of different things to go on in the body. But I believe, and this is my conviction, my personal conviction, that if you make a decision, if you have a will to live, okay, even through heart disease, even through diabetes, no matter what your situation and or circumstance is, if you make a decision, this is what I want for my life, and you focus in on that thing, everything from that point on will change. I actually know, and I've read, where people literally have willed themselves to live way past their quote unquote, the doctor says, expiration date.
Yeah.
And it's all about what we think. And I
Your
have
mind
to
is
continue.
extremely important.
Very
It
powerful.
is. It is. And so even the things that we decide that we want to put in our body, we must understand that there are consequences for what we do continuously on a daily basis.
It's not about food, what you're putting in your body.
No,
it's all about
what's
your relationships.
Because if you,
well, the thing is, I'm going to school, and everybody knows that I'm going for health coaching. And they consider primary food is not the food you eat. It's about relationships.
Yes.
It's about the career.
Yes.
It's about your finances.
Yes.
It's about your spirituality.
Yes.
Okay, those are the four major things.
Yes.
But there's so many things that actually make your body that primary food.
Yeah.
And then we talk about the secondary foods.
Yes.
Which is actually the substance of putting it in. But the whole thing is you have to have that to balance.
That's
you
right.
cannot balance your body if you don't have certain things in place and in balance, because it just kind of messes you up.
And stay
It
positive,
messes
stay
you
away
up.
from the negativity.
No, the
Try to negativity is...
And then, economics plays, and that's another thing, it plays a huge part in heart disease, all kinds of diseases, but especially in heart disease, because people, I'm going to tell you, and this has been my personal experience, I've seen people run out and buy all kinds of things for their children, but they will not invest in their own self. And that's problematic, because sometimes investing in yourself is reading a book. And you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And when you read a book, and you read a book about self-development, about diet, about exercise, about changing your life, no matter what area it is, your finances, I can hardly wrap my head around a pair of $300 or even $250 or even $100 sneakers. When in fact, you need to take care of your physical self. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what's
economics.
so sad, because a lot of people don't realize that you really have to take care of yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you don't do for yourself, how can you do for others? Okay, now you saying genetics, it could be genetics, but you can break that. I think it's not really genetics per se. I believe it's epigenetics, because epigenetics, unless it's something in your DNA, it's not really genetics. It's the environment
Yes.
which will actually, because epigenetics is
No, the
actually
environment has a lot to do with it.
Yes.
Environmental
Which
has a
causes-
lot to do with a lot of
causes the
diseases.
genetics. Because the thing is, the food, I feel a lot of people, and that's why heart disease is prevalent right now.
Yeah.
And obesity is prevalent right now.
Yes.
And diabetes is prevalent right now
Yes.
because we're eating foods,
Yes.
okay? But there's no, we're eating.
Yes.
But what is
And there's
it?
a lot of cancer,
It's-
a
but
lot
it's
of
not
cancer.
nutrition.
Right.
Yes.
It's not nutrition.
Right.
So you're eating empty calories.
Yes.
It's just food
Right.
with nothing,
Right.
So what is
And it
that?
nets you nothing.
You can't,
It's
you don't
like
have the
being
supplements.
impoverished.
Yes.
It's like being impoverished
Yes.
in your mind. It's not just an economic situation. You have to at some point say, I am not going to eat. I am not going to eat any more garbage. I am going to make a decision that this is something that I want and need to do for myself.
And-
Go ahead, baby.
And people have to educate themselves because
Right.
they don't know. Sometimes they don't know. Like the chickens are being injected with hormones. I mean, they're little
Yes.
chickens.
Yes,
They
yes.
inject the hormones. They
Yes,
become this big.
exactly.
And you go to the supermarket, you go, wow, look at this beautiful
I
chicken.
know.
When have you
And
ever
you're-
seen
and
a
you're-
chicken
that
that
like
big
plumped
before?
out, and it's
Yes.
causing all these
And they're putting arsenic in
all these
in this.
problems in
so
the
that
foods.
you're putting antibiotics because they can't sustain,
Yes.
and they're going to get the other
Right.
chickens sick. So they
Yes.
have to give them the antibiotics. They got to give them the arsenic. They got to give them, and everything. All the soil has all these chemicals in it,
And,
and then you
You have
the
to
fruits.
educate. The most
and,
important
yeah,
thing is
vegetables,
people
yes.
listening to the show
Yes.
tonight have to educate yourself and know what's going
Yes.
into your body.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Exactly.
even if you're reading organic,
Yeah.
there may be like so much sugar in there. Just because it says organic
doesn't mean.
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
mean
exactly.
there's you have to
Exactly.
read everything
Yes.
and you have to be knowledgeable.
Yes.
Yes.
But the best way I would start is with supplements, the spices,
Yes.
natural foods
Herbs.
And
that
try
came
to go
from the ground, from the old
non-processed,
as
no
non-processed.
processed.
Yeah.
Sugars,
Because even if
sugars
there's
are the worst.
organic foods,
Right.
like you're saying, if it's processed, it's still processed.
The sugars,
And
the
it still
white
has-
bread,
yeah.
those
Yes.
are poison to the body.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
too causes a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
diseases.
without a
The
doubt.
white
Yeah.
breads, the sugars.
Yeah.
So
And
stay
that
away
causes-
from that. Yeah.
Because I know I was a heart attack waiting, and then I,
Yes.
did my cigarette smoking, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed, but I enjoyed life, but I didn't know what was really going on, But
Yeah.
then you blame, oh yeah, well I had an aunt that was over 300, no, actually over 500 pounds.
Wow.
Okay, and she told me on her deathbed at 50, let's say 54, 55, because her body suffocated. Okay,
My Lord.
So you're talking about her heart it just stopped.
Yes.
It could not beat any longer.
Yes.
Okay, and she told me if she had known at, let's say 18, that 180 pounds really wasn't obese, that perhaps, it was the mindset, because people
Yes.
didn't, really accept her for being a little overweight.
Yes.
And, if she could have just stayed at that point rather than just continued and trying every fad, wiring your mouth
Yes.
but just realizing that the foods were poison
Yes.
to her.
Yes.
And she had to stop putting that poison.
In her body.
But people don't know. And
Yeah.
that's why that's my passion.
Right. It's
To help
educating.
educate.
And educate.
You
people.
because you have to know, because I didn't know. I didn't
Yes.
know.
Yes.
I was heading towards that,
Yes.
And to be 300 pounds at 40 years old, what's up with that? That's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
And only 5'2",
Yeah.
I was
You know what I
sick.
say, Dee? I'm saying, my passion, and I think every day I'm course correcting.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, because I love people and I want people to have healthy relationships.
Right.
And that's why I'm in the field of being a relationship specialist. Don't quite know how all of this kind of happened, but this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very comfortable in that. But one of my passions is to help empower not just women, but women and men to change their entire lives.
Mhm.
And it's because it can be done.
Yeah.
And based on economics, where you grew up, the food, your food sources, how much money you had, has a tendency to be, for some people, a huge stumbling block. In fact, it sometimes feels like Mount Everest, because how much can you make with a box of processed, macaroni and cheese? You know what I'm saying? And maybe some chicken, because it's the cheapest chicken in the store.
But recognize
you
this,
buy that.
and I understand what you're saying.
Right.
But quickly to say, a lot of people say, well, you know what? It's so expensive to eat
Healthy.
organic or
Right.
healthy.
Right.
But I find it cheaper because I eat less.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the fact that I'm not stimulated to eat more, I get satisfied. I'm
Quicker.
satiated.
Yes.
I get full for the
Yes.
first time in my life without having to have surgery, which I had.
Yes. Yes.
Or what have you, because I didn't ever have. I never got full because the foods were all processed.
Right.
Or they had chemicals to stimulate your appetite.
Yes.
So these chemicals do bad.
Yes.
So if you go to get the organic foods, or there's foods that it's not bad,
Right.
like the organic, you don't have to get organic. They
I'll tell
call
you
it the
what's
dirty,
great,
what
too.
is it?
No,
the
well,
dirty-
I was going to bring up what's great is even beans. Having beans, sometimes I take
Yes,
beans and I
yes,
take tomato
yes,
sauce,
yes.
and you feel like you're having a
Yes,
pasta vajol,
exactly,
pasta
exactly.
vajol soup.
Exactly. There's foods that
So
you
many
can eat.
that is so easy.
Yeah,
It's so easy.
definitely.
It's under zucchini now. They have a zucchini maker that you just make like a spaghetti. It looks like the spaghetti.
Yes.
And you
I know
boil
what you
that,
mean.
and you put some sauce on it, and
Yes.
it's so you feel like you're
Yes.
really eating spaghetti.
And you
Yeah.
know
you
what?
stay
And
away
it's
from
so
the
much
white.
more
Right.
healthy.
Right.
I want to make the
Yes.
pizza with the cauliflower.
Yes.
And they said that there's this pizza and that's the crust instead of
Yes.
there's things out there so that we can eat better and enjoy the food. The food is good.
Yeah.
And really taste the food.
Right.
Yes.
Real food. But people don't realize it is not that expensive.
Right.
Just
You
try
have
it.
to, you have to be able, environment, like you said, is everything. And you have to be exposed to that to understand that that's what's good for you and it's going to help you. You know what I mean?
Because the processed foods are actually more expensive.
Well, when you think about it that way, yes,
Yes.
they are. But most people don't realize that. You know what I mean? And so they stay in the hole. And that was the reason why I was saying that. If you don't know any better, then you cannot do any better. And if I could tell anybody who's listening, it's just like change your mind and change your life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's the only thing that's inhibiting you from being where you want to be. Period.
Yeah.
In your relationships, with your health, with whatever you choose.
Well, I think we have like half a minute.
All right.
So, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
Dee,
you.
for
That was a
having me.
fast.
It
hour. We have to
really was.
We have to continue on this. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah. Life is so important. And the only way we can really enjoy our life is to be healthy
Yes, definitely.
and to have the best quality of life.
yes.
And then we have to help
Others,
others to
educate
obtain.
others.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think we're all in that same mindset. So it's just like, I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we have that
Passion.
unity and that passion.
Have passion.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
So
yes.
thank you.
No,
And I know,
thank you.
where can you?
I am Kim Love Jones. You can find me on Facebook, or you can find me at reallovejones.com. And my phone number is 516-986-7504. And I hope you contact me, because I'm sure I'll be able to help you.
And I'm Diane Hanna. You can find me on Facebook, and you can find me there. I'm also a photographer and an actor, and I've been a trainer for 30 years, and I love doing a lot of things.
And I'm going to be doing a whole lot of things, and I will get my website out, and we're going to keep on going, and we'll be back next week. So come on back and come for Passion for Life with Dee and Friends.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Next week.
Next week, guys.